everybody. Thanks for tuning in. This is Joshua. We're not doing that? Oh, come on, guys.
Wait, I thought you were going to introduce me.
I don't even know what he's doing. We never do that.
Josh, you just have to just do it. Like,
yeah.
Intro for this podcast.
Take
I
a deep
watched
breath,
that
Josh.
Mark Togel one where you completely screwed his name on that. So, you know. Well,
So you already know what you're in for here.
yeah, exactly. And, you know, I only spent a week with Josh in fucking Tennessee. Sorry.
Yeah.
Actually, can I'm not gonna.
No, you can't. My
You
mom
can
listens
swear.
to this. My mom listens to this. Do not swear.
All right. So now that we just said
kidding.
that, I'm going into the introduction.
Sorry.
We're sitting here with Jazz with 1Z, the star, and my homie from the art department of Curse of the Weredeer for this wonderful behind the scenes episode. Thanks, Jazz.
Lovely. My favorite thing to say, not the star, I played Star. Was not the star in the least bit, but you know, my character is Star, so that's
all right.
where we're at here.
Ooh, so Jazz with 1Z. How did you get involved with this project?
Oh God. It's actually really crazy. So it was like 3 or 4 years prior. I had the wonderful opportunity of driving 8.5 hours with one of my best friends to work merch for a Troma booth at It was the Horror Hound convention in Cincinnati. It was like right outside of Cincinnati. I can't exactly remember what town it was, but it was like legit like 20 minutes outside of Cincinnati. And we just went to be arm candy basically for Lloyd Kaufman. We just took pictures of him and his fans. And I had already been a fan of like Toxic Avenger, Tromeo and Juliet, and Blood-Sucking Freaks was the very first thing I saw from Troma. Oh, well, Troma produced. That was the very first thing that I saw that had anything to do with Troma at all. And my friend Jen at the time, she got us hooked up for this gig to do that. And she's like, yeah, we're not getting paid anything. We're just gonna like drive 8.5 hours and we're gonna go hang out and you know we'll get some merch for free and we get to hang out with Lloyd Kaufman. I was like, oh yeah, hell yeah, that's dope. Like I'm down for it. So we did that and get back home and you know obviously still and forever a fan, but I met Veda Castillo while I was there, and we hadn't really talked much in between the time frame of me being there versus you know, Curse the Weredeer shooting. And I had Ben hit me up. Well, I had her hit me up first, and she was like, hey, so I reached out to Ben and I did not know Ben at all. And she was just like, oh, so I think you should do this part in this movie. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like I went to school for film production. Editing was like my thing that I wanted to do mainly. I've mostly done behind the scenes stuff for like very small projects and other things. And it was just kind of like weird. I was like, oh, this is like the most random thing in the world. Like somebody just like offered me up for a scene. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to get like 2-3 seconds in this movie. I'm probably going to get killed or like, I'm probably going to be an extra, but yeah, I'm down for it. But I'm like, no, I ended up getting like a decent like supporting role. I'm like, y'all know I haven't really acted before, right? Like, like I don't think I know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing at all. And I don't know. I feel like just with everybody that I was working with there, that everything kind of came a little bit naturally, and people
Mm.
seem to
That's
love
cool.
me. I think I did decent.
You'll find out, right? You'll find out eventually.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Again, I'm sorry for what you all will see on screen. You know,
Well, from the pictures that I've seen, it looks decent. So, and everything that Josh is telling us about it, it sounds like it's going to be a cool film. So,
I do not doubt that at all. Like, I think it's gonna be extremely cool. I think that everything that's been talked about prior to it being made, and it's just like, oh yeah, it's gonna be one of these, like, you know, expected, you know, like, and I hate to use this word, like crap, like B horror films, but I don't think that's gonna be the case with this one. Like,
right.
I think budget wise, like, things worked out well. I think that, like, everybody we had working on the crew, and FX wise, like, it is gonna be way better than all of us expected.
Nice.
You know, it definitely, it's gonna have its quirks for sure, but, like, you know, I think it's gonna come out way better than everybody expected,
Cool.
for sure.
That's because I'm in it.
Yeah. Yeah, because you inked in it, Josh. Like, yeah,
That's
of
it.
course.
So it's a funny story. You know how I got involved? Ben hit me up on Grindr, and then
No,
I-
he didn't.
he found out my porn name was Vanilla Light Switch, and he's like, "You're hired. You're hired."
Vanilla Light Switch.
Yeah, you didn't know a light switch? Like, okay.
I had the same thing. Like, I knew nobody there. I mean, we interviewed Ben. I found it on Indiegogo, and once in a while I go on and support like some indie projects with the PVD horror name because, like, you know, help out the little guy, right? And then he reached out and we started talking. He's like, I was like, "Oh, we have a podcast." He's like, "You have a podcast?" And then we had him and Derek on the podcast, and it was fucking hysterical. It was like a 5-hour podcast, and we had to edit it down to, I don't even know, the longest podcast we've ever done. And then he hit me up and he's like, "Hey, you guys can come." And, you know, we all have regular jobs. Like, I have a family.
You guys can-
And I was like, I talked to my wife and I was like, "Hey, can I do this? Like, can we make it work?" And she's like, "Absolutely." So then I just went, you know.
She's a winner. She's a keeper for sure.
I married up. She's smarter than
for
me
sure.
and better looking than me and nicer than me and funnier than me. And
That's the truest
Like-
thing you said tonight.
Right?
Also, Josh, I
yeah.
meant to tell you, so I have, the main reason I don't share, like, there's certain things like I share in like my community, like my like Facebook and stuff, because I know like the people that are actually like out there. So like, I don't know, I only know like 2 people in like New Jersey, basically, or like I know like 1 person in like Cincinnati, and like, so I don't like share certain things. I'm like, it's not actually going to reach anyone, so why bother sharing it, right? But I shared the newest and now it just blanked on it, the event that you all are having within a couple days.
Oh,
Oh,
the,
thank you. Yeah,
Dark
the
Arts, right?
Dark
Dark
Arts, yep.
Arts. Yeah. So the Dark Arts event, I shared that on my Instagram stories, and I had this one person, because my Instagram is synced to my Facebook, and I had this one person who lived in Charlotte but moved closer. I think he's like in Massachusetts or something, or like,
Okay.
I don't know, somewhere close enough to you all. He's like, "Oh, this is really close to me, and like me and my girlfriend will probably go out there." I was like, "Well, okay, cool. Stop by the PVD horror, you know, like and tell them that I sent you." I don't know anybody else out there right now. But I didn't want to screenshot it because it looks weird. And nowadays, like if you screenshot on like Facebook, they they tell people that you screenshot it, and I didn't want to have to go through like explaining why I screenshotted it and like be weird like that. But so yeah, you might have a friend. I might have a friend coming out to see you.
Cool.
To see you all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for
I'm
the shameless
stoked. I was like,
plug.
I didn't even know.
I'll take it.
Brandon
Yeah.
Salza, supposedly his name. Yeah,
Okay.
shameless promotion. Just blurred his name out on a podcast. He's probably gonna be like, "Oh my god, why'd you do that?"
Everyone follow
He
him
probably
at
won't even listen to this, so it's fine.
the Jazz. We got to talk about the first day, because I think my first day.
Oh my god,
Your
first
first
day.
So I got to tell the story of before I even got to the first day. I don't know if I told you guys yet, or I was keeping it down. Like, so I'm heading out there. It's a 16-hour drive. I'm not going to get there till midnight. I think
this is my favorite story. Yes, please tell this.
Yeah,
'cause I know
I
it.
think I finally hit Tennessee or something. I was like 2 or 3 hours away. I pull over. I text Ben, "Hey, I'm gonna be there at midnight." He's like, "Well, don't come." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, I'm almost here." He's like, "No, don't. We're gonna be sleeping, so just don't come to the thing." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I got a hotel room, and I'm going to sleep, and it's 1 a.m. at this point. And he texts me, and he's like, "Hey, how come you're not here?" And I'm like, "You just told me not to come." He's like, "Oh, dude, we're still filming. It would have been fine." Like, you fucking asshole. I just got a hotel room, and my wife said, if you're going to go out there, you're not sleeping at a hotel room. You're sleeping on Ben's couch. That's how it's going to be. Right. So now I'm pissing off my wife. So I'm like, all right. He's like, meet us first thing in the morning. I'm like, all right, first thing in the morning. That's cool. So I wake up, you know how I wake up at like 4 a.m. So I wake up and the coffee, they serve coffee at 5. And I'm so
it's no do nuts. It's no do nuts, but it was
5 o'clock free coffee. So I get up, I jump in the shower, I get out of the shower, I'm all dressed, I'm walking in the lobby. I walk in, I'm like, "Where's the coffee?" She's like, it's not 5 o'clock yet. I'm like, "Yes, it is."
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, "My phone hadn't set yet."
Yeah, you're like,
So she's like, no, it's not. She's like, it's not 5 o'clock. And I'm like, "Motherfucker!" Like, I was so mad. So then I'm just sitting there twiddling my thumbs, waiting for free coffee. So anyway, I get my coffee. I stop. I get some breakfast. I'm on my way, right? I get there at like 8 a.m. He sends me the address for the laundromat that they're filming at. Not his house, the laundromat. So I'm texting him at 8 a.m. Where the fuck is everybody? Right? So finally, and he lives in Westmoreland.
Yeah.
You ever been to Westmoreland?
I just talked to him about this laundromat just like 2 days ago too. Like, I'm shooting shit with him.
Yeah.
Continue,
Westmoreland, Tennessee's a whole.
Yeah, everybody
whole
needs to hear this. Please continue.
So the mayor of the town, I called him Two Teeth because I didn't know his real name. He gave me the entire history of Tennessee and Westmoreland for like an hour and a half, and I'm like, "Ben, what the fuck?" So finally he's like, "Yeah, come to this address." I'm like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "I sent you the wrong address." I'm like, "Man,
Yeah.
I drove 16 hours and you sent me the wrong address." I haven't even gotten there yet. Like, I'm thinking in my head, what the fuck did I just like drive across the country for? I left my wife and kids for the first time ever, mind you, overnight. For 2 weeks, I'm scheduled here. So I go to the house, right? I'm banging on the door. I see people inside and no one's answering the door.
I'm really sorry. I have to stop you right here. I hate to be a Kanye West right now, but I have to stop you right here. You forgot to mention the person that I don't know why I'm saying the person. Like the guy that lived in Westmoreland forever, like a Westmoreland native trying to.
Historian. Yeah. Which one? There was that guy. That guy was freaking me out. Like, he was like.
So you try to just block that out of your,
Yeah. That guy was.
Understandable.
I'm not even getting into the low end of the pool with that guy.
Understandable.
So by the time I got there, it's got to be like 10 o'clock at this point, and this fucking guy answers the door finally with a sleep mask on, and he's got one eye pulled up, and I'm like, "Hi," it's like, "Yeah," I'm like, "I'm here for the movie." He's like, and he just looks at me, and I'm like, "The movie that we're supposed to film, Ben told me to come here." He's like, "We don't start filming until 12," and closes the door in my fucking face. I'm like,
Yep.
what the fuck? Like, I'm like, I guess I'll just go get breakfast for the second time. So I
Oh,
went
by the way, oh my
and
god, you can
back.
fucking eat a breakfast. Like,
Oh yeah,
ooh,
yeah. His
you
breakfast is a no
breakfast?
joke.
Oh my god. Dude,
Yeah,
we
this
went
guy
to
was
a
a no
place.
joke.
It was basically called Donuts, but it was dough, DO/nuts, and it was owned by like an Asian family, obviously. So like we just kept calling it Do Nuts because that's how it was spelled. And I remember one of like the first times being in a car with Josh, like I'd already like hung out with him like the day before, but being in a car with him, he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get some donuts." He got like a whole like dozen and a half of donuts or something, and I was like, "Oh yeah, look at him. He's that cool person getting stuff for like the crew," and then he ate a dozen of donuts. I'm like, I thought you were doing this for everybody else. No, you just got these donuts for yourself. I mean, luckily I got my own donut and like a sausage muffin.
I
we had to tell Josh about his little breakfast habits. He used to post on like Facebook. He would have like a full pie, like 5 sausage links, scrambled eggs with fucking raisins in it.
What? Oh, gross. Did you say raisins?
Yeah.
With
Yes, raisins and scrambled eggs.
Disgusting. That's
Exactly.
fucking disgusting. Sorry. I don't mean to cuss up.
But we talked to him. I'm like, dude, what is on this fucking plate? Like, how do you fucking eat all this in the morning? Like,
It's effortless. Like he just like
that box of donuts is nothing.
It just happens. He eats it. Like I don't know. I don't understand. I still don't understand. Sorry, Josh. I'm not talking shit about you. I'm just trying to understand like what.
Look, there's the bus. Let's throw Josh. Yeah. You know what? I'm a growing boy. I need to
I'm
eat.
a grown boy.
I'm just growing the wrong way. I'm growing out this way instead of.
No, you're growing just fine. But you know, there are some things you need to work out. No, I'm kidding.
Like my donut intake. You know what? That story is going to be edited out, Dave. You're gonna.
Oh yeah. Don't, Dave.
Saying.
No,
You
no,
wish.
Dave,
You
don't.
wish.
Fucking raisins with scrambled eggs.
That frustrated me the most. The moment you said raisins, I'm like, no.
Oh,
I'm
raisins
like,
and
I don't
spinach.
know this, dude.
Oh, come on. You get your protein, you get your roughage with your spinach, and you get your sugars with your raisins.
Wait, there's spinach
I'm
in there
sorry.
too?
I know
Oh,
I
yeah.
know you want this to sound cool, but it doesn't. Like raisins on anything, absolutely not. No.
You'll be glad to know I
Oatmeal
cut
raisin
them.
cookies. Oatmeal raisin cookies.
No, absolutely not.
Oatmeal
Chocolate
raisin
chip
cookies.
all the way.
Oh no, but I'm saying you're saying raisins without anything. I'm saying oatmeal raisin cookies are good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I can maybe slightly deal with
Or
that.
oatmeal raisin scrambled eggs. You know what I mean?
Scrambled eggs all day.
All right, let's get back to this film.
Oh yeah, sorry. I might have taken us all.
No. I took that way. It was cool. That's what we do. We do on this podcast. We usually pick on Josh, so I found that little loophole.
I mean,
I'm like,
have
all
y'all
right, there it
watched
is
Totally
right there.
Tunular at all? Because Totally Tunular is like them getting off topic all the time. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Those
I'm
are my
ready.
moments.
Let's go.
So anyway, the
Um,
first day. So then when I finally showed back up, I walked in and people were there, and Derek was sobbing like hysterically in
Okay,
the
so
corner.
yeah, you said
Yeah.
first day. That we
Yeah.
got there first day at the same time. my first experience when I first showed up, I paid $88 for a lift from Nashville. Showed up at Ben's place, and the very first thing he said to me before saying hi was saying, "Why are you dressed like that? You look hot. It's hot as fuck outside." Basically, like, not saying I look hot. He was saying I looked physically hot. I had like this heavy shawl on. I had this like weird, like I had a lot of clothes on. A lot of clothes, but it was really cold when I left Charlotte that day.
Wow.
And then I walked in, I talked to like 2 people, walked outside, and you, Josh, were sitting outside, and me and you sat out there for like 4 or 5 hours, basically.
Yeah, that was rough.
Like talking, shooting the shit, and Heather Harlow, like, she showed up. I mean, she was there for like a hot moment.
So
But,
right before you got there, I went in and I was like, "Hey, Ben," and he's like, "Yeah," and I said, "Oh, I got cameras for behind the scenes," and Derek was sobbing hysterically. He's like, "Don't fucking record anything today,"
oh,
and I'm
yeah.
like, "Well, that sounds like you want me to record," and then he's like, "No,
That sounds like you want me.
no," and I haven't worked on a movie, and then right after that, who was it? Fernando and
Oh man,
I forget the
Sam.
Sam. Yeah, Sam was pretty cool. They're like, "Oh, we need you
Sam
to
was
sit at the
awesome.
table right here while we do this," and they're like, "Look over here, look over here, look over here," and then they're talking. They're like, "Please
Look
don't move,
somewhere.
please don't move," and I'm just sitting at this table. And Ben's room is literally like there's the dining room, living room, like there's a
Yeah.
table and a couch to
Oh,
separate.
I thought I was gonna die on those stairs.
Oh, and those fucking
leading up to
stairs.
that, I thought I was gonna die. Literally thought I was
I
gonna
would
die.
not go upstairs. I would not go upstairs. I was mad at everybody upstairs because they kept coming downstairs. They had a bathroom up there and they were blowing up the
There
downstairs.
was a bathroom up there? Oh,
Yes.
God, I wish I knew that.
5 dudes upstairs and they come downstairs to use the bathroom. I'm like, you sons of bitches. Like, I'm taking a shit in
Good to
all
know.
of your beds. Like, that's what's gonna happen.
All right, calm down.
But then so we'll get to that later. But anyway, so then I'm sitting there and it's completely empty and I didn't know because they're like, "Don't move," and I'm like, and then I look and Nadia White is right in front of me and she's changing and no one had alerted me to the situation, which is why everybody else left the room.
You're
And
like,
she-
oh, a piece of titty.
Well, she was
Sorry.
changing, but she's completely naked, bent over and like, and I'm like, "Oh, hi." And she's just like, "Oh, hey, what are you doing?" I'm like, "What are you doing?" Like, I was trying to just sit here where they told me to sit. Why are you naked?
Like, I'm supposed to be here. Like, your titty's in my face.
Oh, I saw everything, and then we started talking, and she was super cool. We ended up being homies. But that
honestly,
that
like, I thought she was like one of the most amazing people to meet. I'd known about her from, previous projects, but I'd never met her, and I always just like think that people who have so much under their belt are gonna be like pretentious or like have this kind of like, I don't know, just like this way about them. Like, I just assumed that she was gonna think she was better than everyone else, basically, is what I thought. And then I actually met her. We had some heart-to-heart combos, and she's like one of the most down-to-earth people I've ever met in my life, along with everybody else on set. Like, everyone was so awesome. Like, I kept telling like certain people, I was like, yeah, when you do stuff like this, or if you work on like anything, or even if like any other job, like even if it just like had a job where, there's usually just like one person you can't stand or something. And working on the set of Curse of the Weredeer, I'm just like, everybody had their quirks about them. There's not a single person that I did not absolutely love. And I'm like, that kind of terrifies me. But at the same time, like I loved it. Like I was just so happy just to be like, I just felt like they were my, like everybody was my people, and I loved it. It was really great.
Yeah, and Jimmy's dad.
That's who I want to be when I grow up, by the way. Jimmy's dad. Who
So
doesn't?
I'm breaking the mold here. Somebody had given Jimmy's dad, who is like Jimmy
Oh,
wrote
yeah.
the script, and he's
Please.
like 80 years old, and he's a very typical, like, he's an old guy, and somebody gave him some edibles, and he got lost. He
By
went to the
accident,
truck to
very
sit
much by
down,
accident.
and he was right across the street, and he came back, and
It
he
wasn't.
couldn't get in the backyard, like he couldn't get in the yard.
Couldn't even get in the club, bro. No, I'm kidding.
And remember, we were sitting there, and all of a sudden he would just put his head up and he'd be like, "Oh, the movies."
Well, yeah, no. So the thing that scared me, I remember sitting outside with you, Josh, and I was like, okay, I don't know anything. I didn't even know like who Jimmy was at the time. I didn't know that was Jimmy's dad. I think I might have known that was Jimmy's dad, but there was a moment where I was like, oh, he said he was going to go pee because they were filming inside, and he hasn't been back in a while. Like, have you seen him? And I just like remember saying that, and I was like, where did he go? And then eventually he like popped back. I have no idea like where he came from, anything, but I just remember being legitimately worried and being like, so where is Jimmy's dad? That was legitimately my thought process. He said he was gonna go pee, and like it's been like 30 minutes and nobody pees for 30 minutes, I don't think, right? Like nobody pees for 30 minutes.
I have to check the record books on that one.
Like you shouldn't, gonorrhea, like I don't know, but you don't pee for 30 minutes.
He got lost.
I was worried. I was very worried about Jimmy's dad for a second.
Yeah, that first day was pretty awesome. That's when we did the art department stuff, and it was like off and running. And then once we were done, it was like, you're done.
You say first day was awesome, but you were there longer than me. And when I got there for the first day, I sat outside like the whole time with you.
The whole day.
And I remember the very first thing. Oh, Ben's gonna love this. The very first thing he said to me, basically, when I left Charlotte, it was cold. So I had like a crop top thing on. I had some long bell bottoms on. I had this like Shaw-ish, not Shaw, but like I had a
I thought it was a sweatshirt.
it was not a sweatshirt.
It looked
I had
very
this long
like heavy,
sleeve, like long, like little cloak on, but it was translucent. I don't know. I can't even think of the word right now. But on top of that, I also had like a drug rug Shaw on, basically. And the first thing Ben said to me, standing at the top of this balcony, he's like, why are you dressed so hot? Like, basically, I was like, oh my God, nice to meet you too. I've never seen you a day in my life. And the first thing you say to me is like, how improperly I'm dressed for the day. I'm like, well, I left Charlotte when it was cold.
Yeah.
By the way, motherfucker. I also love Ben.
So how many days did you guys end up filming this project for?
What was that?
How many days did you guys film on this project?
So I was only there for a week. And there were, I don't know, I think they did it for, I'm pretty sure it was an entire month.
Yeah.
They had already been filming before I got there.
Mm-hmm.
And after I got there, when I left after my week, there was still one more week before they wrapped.
All right.
And technically they legitimately just like wrapped what I don't know if you've been following Josh. I'm trying to put timelines together, but they were he was in New York. I don't know if you know, Ben was in New York
Oh yeah, yeah.
think,
Just like last week.
doing
He's got a lot more
scenes
to shoot.
and
He's still
yeah.
coordinating with everybody else for shoots here and there, like pickup
Yeah.
shots.
And there
He's gonna
should
do
be,
another
there
one
might
shooting
be a
that.
few reshoots happening possibly in, I don't know, I'm not gonna give the month away because I honestly don't know, and I'm not sure if they so yeah.
No.
But yeah, no. A lot of fun though. Definitely a lot of fun. Ben is awesome to work with.
It
Josh
was,
was definitely the dad of sets.
I heard he was cleaning underwear, cleaning laundry when he was over there.
I remember moments of being like completely sleep deprived. Like I feel like everybody had an emotional breakdown at some point. And us being so sleepy, which I feel like such a bitch for even like complaining about being sleepy, but like in that case, it's like, yeah, so we're just so sleepy. And I just remember Josh being like, yep, you know, this would be a little more like organized, like I can get this together, like, you know, like this is all good. I don't know, you continue to stay so optimistic, but I could also tell that you were just as tired as everyone else.
Yeah, Josh had a few pictures, and it had like pictures of people sleeping like in some office. So
Oh
was that
man, Mr. Fitness #2, shameless promotion for him.
I love that.
He Eric.
Yeah, that was the studio.
He could sleep in any situation. He would just fall asleep randomly, no reason at all. Like, and just be asleep. And I remember like pointing to you, Josh, at certain moments. I was like, look at him. Look.
So I'm gonna let out the secret, Eric. If you listen, I'm sorry. While you were snoring, I was sticking my finger in your mouth, and everybody was like, "Don't do that!" It was.
And he never. He pretty much
sticking your finger in people's mouths during the COVID times, Josh. I don't think
that's terrible, right? Like I was like, "Watch this."
Josh, I heard a few people got COVID on the set. That's how it started, I think.
Oh, that was terrifying.
It's all from Josh's finger.
That was the strip club.
Ooh, yeah. Do you want to talk about that, Josh? I was gonna say one thing that scared us about that the most is like, you know, like if that happens to someone that's extremely important in as far as like working on the set, like it's scary. And we did have one very important person who ended up getting COVID on set. And it was like, damn, well, this sucks. And I just remember, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this out there. Sorry, Nicole. But there was one day that we were so nervous because we were just like, oh, we already had one person that was really important have COVID and had to leave. Well, they hung around for a little bit. They ended up leaving and not staying for everything. But I just remember being with Nicole, and the first day that we had to start like testing every day, I had bought some liquor the day before and everything, and like bought a bunch of like mini bottles and stuff, and we each took a mini bottle, you know, as we were taking it, waiting for our test to come in. It's early in the morning. I was like, too early for us to drink, but we're like taking the shot because we're so stressed out and hope that like we don't have to go home. It's like, you know, we don't have to, we wouldn't be unhappy if we had to go back and, you know, hang out with awesome people. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, we want to get things done when they want to get things done. And it was just really scary if, you know, certain people would have tested positive. And I feel like we got kind of lucky with that. And
if I had tested,
it was a very scary situation, though. We were just like, yeah, we're gonna take the shot and
hope for the best. So I had a family vacation right after. I literally left there and drove to Florida to meet up with
Oh,
my
I
family.
remember. Yeah, I remember seeing this.
And my wife was like, "If you get COVID, I'm gonna fucking kill you." And Jazz, you've never met my wife. She is.
I have not. Unfortunately, I have not yet, but I will.
Like, so Ben's wife Jen reminds me of my wife. Just such a genuine, like, nice
Love
person.
Jen so much. Jen saved my fucking life so many times.
Right?
On set.
But let me tell you, if you piss off my wife, holy shit!
Ooh.
Like she will turn into like the biggest. Yeah, I'm afraid of my wife. I'm not afraid of anybody. I saw her push out a baby, like with no
I
medicine.
believe it. I believe it.
Crank that baby out.
More than one, right?
And I ain't fucking with that.
Yeah.
I ain't pushing a baby out of my people, that's for sure. It ain't happening. So you know what? I give her all the credit in the world. Then it was all natural, and it was.
Oh God. Jesus.
Josh, you should make that movie with
Plus.
Ben. Just you pushing a baby through the keyhole. There you go.
Imagine. Oh, I'm pitching that. I'm pitching that to Ben. He's got a 48-hour thing coming up. I'm gonna start sending that idea out his way.
Oh, I don't know if it's even okay for me to say this, but I'm about to say it. I already have a ticket to go there. I bought my plane ticket already, so I'm about to be a part of this.
You're gonna be a part of the 48?
Unfortunately.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Huh?
I'm terrified because he had a really bad mental breakdown the last time, supposedly. Sorry for throwing everything out there. But yeah.
I love Ben. So I gotta tell you, the connections with the people there, like the guy with the face mask I was telling you about. When we did the strip club
the guy with
day,
the face mask?
yeah, Ben Terry was the guy that closed the door on me.
Yeah. I don't know if you noticed in the
guy
group
from
message
Minnesota.
recently. I was like, Ben Terry can be your person who opens the door on our, because Nicole was talking about like all of us buying a house together, like in
be
like
the doorman
Kansas or something, like some dumb shit. And I was like, oh, if we could just get Ben Terry as a doorman, then yeah, I'd be down for this. Only because of your situation.
Yeah, I thought he was a prick for the first couple days, and then when we did the strip club, you know, he's a married guy just like me. He has kids just like me, and we were talking, and he's like, "Dude, I feel so weird being here with all these girls like naked everywhere." He's like, "I have a wife," and I'm like, "I'm in the same boat." And we formed a tag team called the Married Dads, and every time we were filming, we'd just look over and be like, "Married Dads."
Oh wait, is he the barbecue guy?
No, that's Big Dan.
Barbecue guy's the best. Shout out to Big Dan. By the way, hold up.
Oh, Big Dan was the best. That was when I put on the squid suit. They made me be a squid.
I got his hot sauce and his rub.
Oh,
here.
and the dry rub.
I bought like four bottles of his hot sauce. I have like 2 now, and we have some projects in the works that I can't really talk about right now, but y'all know that much. So
yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Let me ask you guys a question. So what were like some of like the most challenging situations trying to put the film together and on set and stuff?
Oh God.
Other than COVID, like actual production related.
I can easily tell you that. Okay, so I went to school for film production, and I've been behind the camera most of my life since like 2013. I have done like modeling gigs, like small time modeling gigs, and they're mostly like collaborations with friends in their projects. I worked on like a few like big productions like America's Got Talent and whatnot. But as far as this goes, it has been, I don't know, it was like, I don't know, it was definitely not a weird situation. Definitely weird, yeah. Weird 100%. But fun more than anything. And I I had Veda Castillo is the one who she kind of put my name out there for this movie. And I was like, okay, yeah. She was like, I really want to see you act. And then I had like Ben hit me up, and I was like, he was like, oh, Veda was like, she really wants to see you act. And I was like, oh, cool. I haven't seen her in like 3-4 years. So I had a Zoom meeting with them, and we all did like, you know, a script reading and whatnot. And they were like, oh yeah, cool, you'll be perfect. I was like, are you sure? I was basically, are you sure? I was like, I haven't actually acted in anything. Like, actually acted in anything. I was like, this is a pretty big role for me. And they loved me. I loved them. I loved like the entire environment of everything, and somehow like it worked out. And
Yeah.
you
want to hear my problem? So the truth was, when I walked in, the first couple of days, Sam and Ben are like best friends, and I love Ben to death. I have grown so fond of Ben, but him and Sam working together are like oil and water.
You can do a better accent of Ben than me as well.
Oh yeah, like
first thing he said to me was I was dressed improperly, basically.
Yeah, but they spent like hours and hours arguing, and I was like, we've been standing here like the strip club. It was raining, and they were outside arguing for. I think I filmed the whole thing. It was a half an hour of arguing in the rain. I'm like, you just lost a half hour of time that you could have been filming.
I just only remember you being barefoot that whole time. Like, that's all I remember.
That's his life. Not the whole time. That's his life.
I wear shoes at the events. Like, I'm very respectful
do you
when I go
really?
into establishments.
Because
Yeah. But the big problem was a lot of people were tired. They were super long days. They were confusing because
22-hour days.
we're doing
dude.
everything. Yeah.
We're doing 22-hour days.
So the like, unfortunately and realistically, the biggest problem was the lack of focus. And like, they'd set out a day, but it wouldn't ever be on time. And people would get ready, but then like something would happen and you'd lose somebody. So finally, by the end of it, I think it was your last day. You weren't even supposed to be there, and you were sitting there. And I walked up.
Wallet.
Like,
I lost my
Jazmyn
wallet.
was over here saying,
I thought I
"You
did
need to film.
until
Let's go."
TSA.
Yeah.
Until TSA found my wallet after like interrogating me and then having to do an extra search on my bag. And then I happened to have my wallet on the side of the bag that I wouldn't usually have it on. And they were like, "Oh, is this your wallet?" I was like, "Oh yeah, thanks for sending me through like an hour and a half of fucking interrogation, making me look like I'm a criminal in front of everyone, and then finding my wallet." Like, I stayed an entire extra day because I thought I lost my wallet because I got too drunk the night before, basically.
Yeah.
Awful.
So,
Sorry.
and the other problem was it was in Tennessee. You know, Kevin Titt was there, and Kevin, you know, he's a super nice guy, but he was black, and he started walking in his orange jumpsuit down the street, and he turned around and came back. He's like, "Can you drive me to the store?" And I'm like, "That's right over there." He's like, "Look at me." He's like, "Look at where we are. Do you think it's wise for me to walk down the street?" And I was like,
Did you really say that?
"No, I didn't even fucking think of that." And we had a little heart to heart in the car. I love Kevin Titty. I love you, man.
I love you.
Super cool guy. But he was right. Like, remember when they did the strip club and Ben had to stand up with all the extras, and they were all, you know, Tennessean people and Kentucky people, and they all have guns, and he was like, "Please, no guns on the set."
Yep.
And people got up. They're like, "Oh, okay." Well, they were like and some people that were there were like, "Wait a minute, people got guns? What the fuck?" Like, they were
bricks. No, I remember that. I remember that moment.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
actually, I feel like that was a very uncomfortable moment with a lot of like behind the scenes people with me. Because I remember like I'm like, yeah, I was basically paid for like 2 scenes of popping my I don't even know if I can say this. Can I like
you say whatever you want.
Whatever you
pumping my
want.
titties out, basically. And I'm just like, oh, yeah, doing this, and then they're like, yeah, we're gonna have a child actor here. I'm like, okay, cool, but we're still doing like this scene, so I don't know. So either way, I was just like, oh, okay, like boobs are kind of out, not really like out, like I still have an outfit on, and nothing was showing too much. But there was like a moment eventually, like once that like lapsed and it was done. I'm like, oh yeah, tits are out. There were like 2-3 people that were there on scene that were just like terrified, and they were like, oh. Like, not because my titties are scary. I swear, I do not have scary titties. But they were just like, oh no, yeah. I was like, no, it's fine. Like, I'm just, I'm a woman. Like, like I'm sure you've seen like nipples before. Like, I don't actually have like titties. I just have nipples for the most part. Like, I'm just like changing shirts real quick. And I had this one dude that's like doing this, and I'm like, are you okay? He's like, are you okay? I was like, I don't need you to do this for me. Like, I'm just trying to like.
Yeah. So that was me and Big Dan. So when they did the because they had all those extras and everybody there, I don't know if you caught this when Nadia was doing her strip scene.
Oh my gosh, she was so
Yeah.
great. I felt so bad she had to do it as many times as she did, because she was like, I haven't stripped this much in a while. Like, I haven't been in a pole in this long, and she killed it. And she had to do it like 10 times. Poor thing, had to do it like 10 times in a row.
We were shooting, so it was me, her husband, who was an ex-MMA fighter,
Right
and I
next,
was a
right
pro
next,
wrestler,
sitting
right?
next to
Yeah.
you when you were gonna
That
eat.
was Jason.
Right?
He was in the middle, and then they put Big Dan on the other side.
Yep.
So if anybody went near the stage, it was like implied that the 3 of us would stop them.
Have you seen the
pretty
still
much.
from that
I've seen a couple. They're really good.
Okay.
And then I had to like, it's so funny because me and Dan were like, well, got to text my wife. Just spent 6 hours watching a stripper. Send. Like,
God, and then the best part was like, hey, Jimmy's dad, don't put any titties in Jimmy's dad's face, please. It was a huge thing.
Oh my God. So I got to tell you guys this one. The best story out of that whole scene, the whole day there, I have the octopus suit on, right? It's
Oh God.
and it's felt. So it's like super fucking hot, right? And it's sticking to me. And I think I was sitting with Jazz, and all the strippers, like all the strippers, they weren't strippers, but all the girls that were working that scene, all of them had like the see-through clothes, and we're all sitting together. And I'm like, Jazz, you want to get a picture like while we're sitting here? And she's like, sure.
Oh my God.
And she had a Cannibal Corpse shirt on, so she takes the shirt off, and I had the squid suit that buttoned up in the front. So I had the squid, it has no like hand grips. It's just literally you put your hands in, right? So I'm trying to unbutton it, but I'm standing up and I'm bent over, and it looks like I'm taking my dick out. And she's like,
got scared. Like,
what are you doing? And I'm like, and I look, and there's complete silence, and every girl in the place is staring at me. And I'm like, no, it's not what you think. And I reach in, and I'm like, really slowly and gently, I pull it out. I'm like, I was just getting my phone. It was in my pocket. And they're all like, oh.
Sure, Josh.
It was so weird too, because I had just hung out with him, the night before, like the night that I didn't actually have to film anything, and we're just sitting together outside, like just hanging out. Heather Harlow hanging with us, And then this day comes up and like, yeah, I was like, yeah, send some picture. And he starts going to the pocket and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, it was not even a funny thing. Like, I was genuinely like feeling kind of like, I was like, wait, what are you doing? And then pulls a phone.
I went real like
all right,
nice and
like,
slow,
okay,
like the
cool,
boys
we're
were
good.
there. Oh, I on just the
Josh,
phone.
you gotta stop putting your phone.
Yeah, I was
Josh,
like,
you gotta
don't,
stop
like,
putting your phone in your back
pull
pocket, man.
Don't
Right?
pull
Like,
that thing out and start doing things with it. Like,
Yeah.
that's cool. But
you
a
could have
phone is
seen the
fine.
look. Like those girls, they had their hands on their mace, like ready. And I was like, oh, I'm a married guy. It's not what you think. I was keeping it in there. Like it's concealed.
Oh God,
your
can I
phone in the
please
back
call
pocket.
out Nicole Matrice for like 2 seconds, because there was that one day that I thought I was gonna leave town, the day that I ended up losing my wallet, and I didn't leave town. I left the next day, but laying in bed, my alarm has like the ring on it. It's like that weird, I don't know, it's a weird ring slash like alarm. But it played at like 5 a.m, and she picked up the hotel phone and she said, hello. I'm like, that was my alarm. Like, why are you picking up the phone? I give her so much shit about it. Like, still till this day, like I keep telling her about it. I'm like, bro, you just picked up like the phone when it was my alarm ringing on my phone.
I was mad at Nicole. I was trying to sleep one night. We had put in like a 20-hour day. I get back to Ben's house.
Every day
I'm
was
in
a
my
20-hour.
pajamas. I lay on the couch. I get the blanket. I'm finally going to sleep. And fucking Nicole walks in. Hi! I just looked at her. I'm like,
that's when I did the
what the
podcast that
fuck
night,
are you
right?
doing here? Yeah. And they wanted to do a
because she
podcast.
left,
I'm like, we
and
can
I
shop
ended
for
up
20
sleeping
hours,
in a
man.
different room because of
I feel bad. I felt bad about it afterwards. Like literally, I just looked at her and I'm
Yeah,
like,
you're
what
fine.
the fuck are you doing here? Like, why are you here at this hour? It is 4 o'clock in the fucking morning.
It legit
Yeah,
was
right?
like 4 o'clock in the morning. I didn't get to the hotel until like 3 o'clock in the morning, because that was the shoot at that house. I'm not gonna give any spoilers, but it was, that shoot where you all went around together to go get stuff, and
Yeah.
that was your do nuts breakfast. By the way,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Can I just tell you how awesome everybody was? Like, you know, seriously,
Exactly.
look at me, right? Like, not somebody that you would just willingly get into a car with. I drove around the entire
We even
art
had this
department.
conversation after the fact, and they're like, what's wrong with me? I was like, I mean, have you seen?
That was Ben.
Ben was like, have you seen him? And I was like, yeah, but really, have you seen you? Like, yeah, I get why people think you're like this terrifying, like fucking crazy looking dude, and then Jason Momoa looking motherfucker, but like,
I'll
you're
take
actually
Jason Momoa.
like the sweetest person in the world. And
Don't
even get me started on the coffee chick. When you went and got coffee that one day, and I mean,
we'll leave that out.
yeah.
Now, Josh, was there a set date for this film to release, or like?
Oh
I know
my
they're
God.
still doing stuff, but when's it supposed to release?
I wish I knew. I hope to know very soon. And if I get any spoilers, then I won't actually give them out. But I actually give them out. I really don't. I have no clue. So my understanding, at one point it was going to be like a year, and then now this one article came out, and then it's supposed to be like this fall. So I unfortunately have no idea when this is coming out. one thing I can say is that everybody involved is awesome as ever. It is I feel so bad because like I keep showing people the trailer that's already out. And I know this trailer was done well before this was filmed. And also this trailer was done thinking that it was just gonna be a trailer and a short. And they did not expect for this movie to actually be made.
Mhm.
So when I show people the trailer of this movie I'm gonna be in, they're like, oh, okay. I'm like, no, I swear it's gonna be so much better than this. Like, we actually have really good effects artists, like all this dumb stuff, but like it's gonna be good. And honestly, I think the original trailer is pretty good as well, but there's so much more in store for the actual movie, and I think everybody's gonna be really stoked on it.
Nice.
You guys, the talent there, like for such a like low budget film, Nadia White was just she
Oh my
killed it.
God.
Her and Derek Johnson, the
Awesome.
best
Awesome.
Weredeer ever.
I talk
and
about
then-
him so much, yeah.
Yeah, and then even the like the other supporting cast, like Eric killed it. And then you know
Oh, no.
Connor as the scientist was just so good, and then
Yeah,
Babette.
I
played-
think I love Connor so much. I think that he
he's such a good kid. I love him.
think that he's a little hard on himself, and I don't think he realizes how great that he is. And he is really fucking great. Like
He took me
he
to the
has
gym.
just, like this tone and this voice, and it's like he's not even he's acting in the scenes, but like it's legit him. Like that's just like him, and it's great. Like I don't know, I just love his presence all the time. He's amazing. He keeps me grounded. Like, amazing person.
Yeah,
But
it
yeah,
is.
Nadia was awesome. I definitely had my feelings at first. I'm like, oh, she's kind of like a little famous, you know. I was like, probably gonna be. I always just think that like people who have it a little bit better than me, like, are gonna be pretentious and like be in their, you know, like be in their ego. But
Yeah.
she was legitimately like one of the coolest people ever. Like, I actually was able to have a conversation with her, and it was natural. It was like it was just cool. It just worked, you know what I mean? And
Mhm.
there was like one night she even drove me back to the hotel, and we just like chilled and we shot the shit. Like, we talked, and like every single person I worked with, like there's not usually anything that I do, whether it's work or film, and I'm usually behind the scenes when it comes to film. My first acting gig, like big acting gig, but there's always like that one person you can't stand, you know. There's always that one person.
Yep.
And Curse the Weredeer,
Was it
I
me?
can legitimately say there is not one single person that I could not stand.
Jazz, it's okay. You can say it's me. They're not going to be offended.
All right, Josh.
They've
Yeah,
known
I
me a
can't
long time.
stand you, Josh. But no, everybody was awesome. Babette, oh my god, like seeing Babette in work was just
Yeah.
like
Talk about
life-changing.
fucking talent. So good. Yeah, we got guys, we got to get Babette Bombshell on
Please,
at some
please.
point.
Oh, actually, I
So
didn't put
cool.
this next to me because
Went around and gave out 8 by
Babette was
10
the first
signs.
person to ask me
Yes.
for my autograph on the Curse of the Weredeer script. I was like, oh my god, nobody's ever asked me for an autograph before, and I had no clue who Babette was until 2 days later. For some reason, I was like, oh, this is a random person, you know, like whatever. But yeah. So now this whole like Babette poster and everything. Oh my god, love Babette. She's a babe.
Oh, the fucking stories, just keeping everybody entertained.
Oh my god, yes.
all the way through.
And
Like
Zach and
just
Miko,
wow.
oh my god, like
He was hysterical.
Instantly just like get into the mood and just go there, and it was crazy.
And him
So
and Babette
crazy.
working off each other was incredible. They have a really good chemistry.
Agreed.
So,
Agreed.
I think you guys will really like this film. It's like she said, it looks 10 times better. And when you're like, I was behind the scenes for a lot of it because I was doing art department. So I was setting up a lot of the scenes. And as they're filming, you have to watch the monitor to make sure that everything is in the exact same spot and there's no like water bottles or somebody didn't put something down. You know what I mean? So I got to see what it looked like filming, and the angles and the crispness of everything was just really spot on. And
that just reminded me.
A shout out to Fernando for letting me
my god,
literally
fucking
play with the little knob.
Fernando.
Yeah,
Killed it.
he was awesome. So
and Sam before he was done, killed it. But I don't know if you remember, Josh, but one of the most like pivotal moments in my career, like, we were at the jail scene, everything. In the paint factory and whatnot in Nashville, and there was this one moment. Ben, he was always like super cool, like always just trying to make sure everybody was okay, feeling okay. Like even when he wasn't, he's like, "You okay? You doing all right?" And there was this one moment with the jail scene that I had to do, and I was like, I had to like talk for a second. And I was like, oh, I don't know if this is actually gonna like work out. But I ended up, it was a weird one. It was a really weird one. So Kevin Dusty. I don't know if you are familiar with him. He's the curly haired Kevin. But no spoiler alerts, but he was like giving his lines out, and I ended up laughing so hard. And I think you were there for that moment. I can't remember, but I laughed so hard that I was like legitimately like crying, like laughing so hard I was crying. Like tears were rolling down my eyes, like streaming down my face, just because of the way he was reading his lines. I was like, like I was just like, I could barely even catch a breath because I was crying so hard. And Ben was just like, are you okay? Are you right? I was like, yeah, like I'm laughing to death. I'm not actually like crying, like I'm just laughing to death. But like he was legitimately like so concerned, like so concerned. I was like, no, I'm just laughing, but I'm crying, but I'm laughing. Like it's not that serious. But he was like, I felt like he was like afraid. He was like, oh shit. Like he was like, damn, I got this chick like fucking crying on set. I was like, no, like I'm crying, but I'm just laughing. Everything's okay, I swear. As I'm trying to hold it together, tears rolling down my face, like it's gonna be one of those things you have to wait to see before I can actually
into it.
You were crying like every day. So my job was to pick up the art department. And
I kind of was, I kind of was.
Art department,
I got
all
with,
ladies
like,
in the same room.
During all that.
You guys every morning.
During the prison scene, like my ex at that time, he was actually arrested while I was doing the prison scene. I was like, oh, by the way, I think my boyfriend just went to jail after I sent him pictures of this fake jail. Like, oh, and then that happened. But that's not. Can you cut this out, by the way?
Cut that part out.
I don't care.
But you know what? That speaks to your drive to get it done. Like, you could tell you were upset at one point, and I didn't really know you. I think I went to Chrissy, and I was like, Chrissy, I need you to tell me if there's anything I need to do. Because I didn't know if somebody was bothering you. I didn't know if you were upset at something else. Like, I just didn't know. And I wasn't going to make a scene. And Chrissy just leaned in and she's like, it's something to do with her boyfriend. There's nothing you can do. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, do I need to get wine?
Drama,
And she's like,
all the
"No, it's
drama
good."
here.
Yeah. So, Chrissy was like the mom, and Chrissy has helped us out.
Chrissy's mom forever. I love her to death. I will see her Mahoning Drive-In coming up very soon. 15.
So, I guess we should wrap it up. We've been chatting for a while.
Sorry, I talk way too much
Carrying on.
about nothing.
Carrying on. There's so many other people we didn't even like shout out. Like Reeves was amazing. He did the Secret of Cup Island.
Shout out to Reeves for sure.
That's going to be premiering at
Secret of Cuck Island. I'm stoked for it.
Yeah.
I read his Tunnel Game, and I bought that book when I was in Tennessee. He wrote me like the best. Give me the best little write up.
Yeah, he's
like
cool.
$5 extra. He's like, yeah, I'll write this extra weird. I'm not gonna try and pull it out right now. But it's something about me growing armpit hair out for him, and my boyfriend not being okay with it. Funny.
The other guy was Andrew Ford. Came the day of the prison, and he was pretty cool. We got to interview him from that.
Bart was really cool too.
I wish I had talked to him more. And then there was another guy that did the car scene that we did the special effects for with RJ.
Cyrus?
Yeah, I didn't get to talk to him too much either.
No, do you remember his birthday? Honestly, one of my all-time favorite things about like being on scene was the "Hey Cyrus, it's your birthday," because it was his birthday, and then we did like the "Hey Cyrus, it's your birthday" song. Because they started singing a regular happy birthday song, and I think it was like either Ben or someone else who's like, hey, we don't want any like copyright infringement shit, so let's make up our own happy birthday song. And they were just like, hey, Cyrus, it's your birthday. And like, it was like it was a weird moment.
So do you guys remember the car scene in Terra Firma where the guy loses his legs?
Yeah.
I'm spoiling it. They reenacted that scene for this movie.
Nice.
And dude, I gotta tell you, like watching it, doing the special effects for it is one thing. It's not real. Like it doesn't look like anything at that point. But when they film it and we're doing the fog machines and shout out to everybody who did that. Derek really fixed that. Derek Johnson fixed the fog machines. When they put it all together and you see it on film, it looks fucking amazing.
I know, it looks insane.
So cool. You're holding these like plastic guts, and you're like, this looks like a red sponge. You know what I mean? But when you put it in the scene and you put the blood on it, and it's got the smoke and the guy moving, it comes together amazingly.
It looks so badass.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Check it out, man. Everything sounds cool. So I think is it gonna be on Troma now?
Oh, absolutely.
That's a good question. So just because I don't know if they're gonna go like a DVD Blu-ray route or like
they're gonna do all of the above.
It's Troma produced, so it's probably gonna be on Troma now. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they're doing
Josh is gonna ink on Troma now.
Yes.
Like.
Oh, that was my big role. I'm in the squid outfit, and I lean back and I go, I'm gonna ink.
Best part is like how many takes he had to do of that, and like how progressively excited he got during that, and not because he wanted to, just because he was told to be progressively excited about it. That's awesome. He's like, I legit like the entire cast was just like basically rolling all over the fucking floor laughing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It was great. We're laughing. We were laughing with you, not
you know what? There is another. We did a scene outside where the townspeople stormed the sheriff's office, and
I was there for that day. That was the day before I left, after I lost my wallet and found it. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt really bad about this. This kid had a limp and he was shaking, and I was like, "Oh, that's really good. Like, play it up like you're a crackhead." And then when we stopped filming, he was walking the same. And I was like, oh shit, you're really a crackhead? And he's like,
no!
oh. And he's like, no, I got it was something wrong with him. And I was like, oh fuck, dude. I'm
Oh man,
I'm so
yeah,
sorry.
shit.
Like, I just totally called you a crackhead twice in a row. And
Hey,
I'm like, oh, that's such good acting. And he
such
he
good
did
acting.
something like, I was like, what a
Did y'all
fucking
employ
good
Josh?
man.
Did y'all employ this man? Like,
Oh, I gave him a
very
hug.
offensive,
I was like,
y'all.
I
He was
love
very
you. I'm
offensive.
sorry. I don't like hurting people's feelings, and I felt awful about it, and I gave him a
Right,
big
go
hug.
eat some more. Go eat
thought
some
it
more
was
donuts, bro. Like,
Yeah, he's like, no, it's cool, it's cool. He's like, I forget what it was. Something he did something. He took some drugs, and it fucked up his nervous system.
oh,
So like he has
no.
a permanent twitch and a limp, and he's like, nah, I was like, it was a good trip. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, so it all worked out. But anyway,
It all worked out.
so Jazz,
Alright,
thanks
well.
for coming on.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
me here. Sorry if I
No
kept getting
problem.
off topic. I'm the worst at getting off topic.
No, that's cool.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
Take
Thank
it
You know
easy,
what
guys.
Yeah, have a good one, Jazz. I'm gonna tell the Totally Junior cast, the entire cast. I'm gonna send it to them and be like, we made your podcast today.
Please
were-
do. Please do.
We just
I
rambled
was so
on about.
excited when you showed up on Totally Junior, and
Shout out to those guys, Leo,
Ben
James.
was like excited. What was that, Monster House? It was the best thing ever. That was one of my all-time favorite. Ever since I got back to North Carolina, I have watched every single Totally Junior podcast since then. I've watched every single PV horror podcast since then.
Awesome. Thank you.
Just because it's
Thanks.
like, you know, people that I've worked with and people that I adore. But yeah, it was really funny to see that one. It was great.
Thanks for supporting us. The big heart right
Yeah,
here.
definitely.
Forever.
Appreciate it.
Love y'all. Take it easy, okay?
Thank you.